back, beauties. So I'm going to be asking my co-host, my brother Webb, some insight questions on male perspective, female perspective, just to kind of understand a man's thought process. So he's gonna be the male insight. I'm gonna be the female insight, so it's not biased, but yeah. Okay, so this is Webb. This is my really close brother. We work in the same unit, stay in the same area. We're really close. Our styles are very similar. He can dress, lemon pepper steppers, all that stuff. So this is him. I'll also put his Instagram and all that stuff down below because he also puts out content and his Instagram is lit and all this other shit. So I'll put all of his info at the bottom. Okay, so why do men string women along? If that makes sense. Like either in a relationship or just trying to fuck or just something.
So I wouldn't say that all men string women along. I'd say that there is a group of men that tend to string women along. Mm-hmm. And then there's a majority of men whose intentions, they don't even know what their intentions are. They're just kind of doing it to see where it goes. And then you have people who are trying to understand what they're in. So they're trying to feel like maybe this is going to go this type of way. Maybe it can do this. Maybe I can see myself with this person long term. Or maybe I'm just maybe this is just something fun to do right now. And there are people like that. But there's it's a lot that goes into, I don't think all men string women along. I don't think all men do that. There are that group of men that do it, and they make it, or they do it, and they make it seem like, and they ruin it for the majority of the men who don't do it. So that when they get put in those positions, it just seems like what they're doing, but realistically it's not.
So those men that don't string women along, they actually are looking for someone, a wife, a mother, why don't they give them a chance if they make a mistake or all of this stuff? Because I've been in a situation, I made a mistake and, I try what I can to gain their trust back and all this other stuff, but it's just they'll give you one chance and then it's just, that's it. People gonna make mistakes. Everybody's not perfect.
Yeah, okay.
So.
All right. So it depends on what the mistake is. Because I'm not, if somebody just doesn't know what they want in a relationship and they're just kind of distancing themselves from you and they're just laying off of you and stuff like that, and you're just I don't want to do this anymore, but then later they come back and they're I want to give it another try.
Yeah.
That's different. I wouldn't consider that a mistake. I just consider that somebody not knowing what they want, but they want to try it again.
Yeah.
But if somebody cheating per se.
That's different.
Yes.
That's different.
Cheating is a mistake that I'm not one of those, if I get cheated on, I don't give a second chance, because your first chance was the relationship. Yeah. The relationship was all right, we're in a relationship, we're not going to cheat. So if you cheat on me that just ruins it, because why are we going to keep doing this if you found interest in somebody else outside of it? I'm a sole believer if you feel like you're going to cheat on a person, just go ahead and tell that person you don't want to be with them, just to save that time. It's going to hurt either way, but I think it hurts a lot more for somebody to get cheated on and find out that way than it is for you to be I don't think I love you, or I don't think I care about you like that anymore, and I have feelings for somebody else. That's a more respectable way to get out of that situation or that relationship.
Okay, so let me give you an example, because I was just in this situation, right? So I was in high school, me and someone, I'm not going to say his name, but me and someone was in a short relationship, but I was the reason why we ended, because I kind of left him in the dark and I was playing games. I wasn't serious and I left him really at a bad time. But now, we tried to give it a chance, but he still wants to believe that I'm still the old me when I'm completely different from me in high school compared to me now. So why do men why don't they give women a chance to show them the new them instead of the past them that they been known or been new or went through, you know, in that time versus now.
I put it this way: a man's first heartbreak. I'm assuming you're this dude's first heartbreak.
Yes.
Yes. A man never forgets his first heartbreak. So I'm going to compare it, and people could argue that it's not the case, but I'm going to compare it to being shot. If somebody shoots you once and you don't die, but later on you see that person again, you're going to be scared for yourself. You're going to be unsure. You're going to be uncomfortable.
Scared.
You might have your doubts about being around or being even near this person or even seeing this person because you don't want to get shot again. And that's how that is, especially for a man's first heartbreak. Every man remembers his first heartbreak.
That's true, but if I'm trying to, I'm not saying like he should just forget the past. I'm not saying that. Like forget what I did because it happened. I can't take back what I did. I was just immature, not thinking. But like if I'm sitting here trying, or at least showing you that I'm completely different, my mindset is completely different. I have something going for myself and all this other stuff, then why not be open-minded and like try to understand or try to be there trying to, I guess, rebuild what we could have had, but like more, but now it's like more secure. That makes sense. And we're adults at that. We're not kids. We're adults.
It's doubt. It's that piece of doubt. Like he doesn't, because men think logically, and he's like, if it happened once, what's to say it doesn't happen again? Whereas if he talked to somebody else and they had a relationship where nothing happened, you know what I mean? It was a steady, constant relationship and nothing like that ever happened. He feels more comfortable like, okay, I'm just gonna like protect myself. That's what he's doing. He's protecting himself.
But he can be honest with me as well. Like if he doesn't want a relationship, just tell me you don't want a relationship. You just want a friendship.
Right.
But his love for me is still there because I was his first love or his first heartbreak or I was his first, like, of course, like not sex, but everything else I was his first. So it's just kind of like the love is still there, but he's not willing to open up or give me a chance. Like, do you think that's just like he shouldn't open up, or do you just think like he's just trying to be very protective and cautious? Or
I think he's being very protective and cautious. I mean, some people just don't like opening up. Like personally, when I'm in relationships and things, like it takes a lot for me to open up because I think about it as like a business. Like the more information I give you, the more of a liability you are.
But if you get married, you have to.
Yeah, but there are even marriages where they don't know everything about each other.
Oh, that's true.
And you know, for me, it just takes a lot because when you start telling people your deepest and darkest secrets, like you're putting a lot of trust and a lot of hope and a lot of faith in these people that they wouldn't turn their back and share this out on you. And that's a big deal. That's why I personally I'm very selective in who I share information with because I don't want to one day wake up and then I fucked the goats on national television. I never fucked the goat. It's just an analogy, I'm sorry.
But if someone is cautious, but you want a relationship, but you're saying all this nice stuff, like I love you, I want kids with you, you know, all the nice stuff, right? Including myself. I said this to him as well, so I'm not gonna be biased. But the fact that I've caused him a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, and all this stuff, why would you want a relationship with somebody if you can't give them a chance to be open-minded? Especially like if they're trying to regain your trust and trying to like show them how, like the new us pretty much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he wants a relationship,
right.
But then it's like he's scared to be in a relationship because I could be the same heartbreak, or put him through the same feelings, the same emotions. Even though I could sit here and be telling, like, pretend like Webb is like him, right? I could be sitting here telling you like, I love you, and I want to marry you, and I want kids, and I want us to last forever, and da da da. But like in his mind, he might think like this is bullshit. Like.
100%.
So it's just kind of like me.
But it's the time.
Because it could be reassurance for him, which he told me it sometimes is reassurance, but in the same sense, it's like he don't believe it. So then what's the point of having a relationship if you're not going to believe what I'm saying?
I consider a relationship to be like a business partner. You gotta build together. You gotta struggle together a little bit for somebody to actually really trust you.
Yeah.
Like I don't just, I want to take everything that a person tells me as the truth, but I like to see the actions. My loyalty runs with actions, not with just words, because anybody can say there's something, but then when something actually happens, they're the complete opposite person.
Yeah.
So, time, that sounds like, all that sounds like to me is time.
But if I'm showing him actions, like it's hard because I'm over here, he's in the States.
Right.
But if I'm trying to do as much as I can and like go visit him or any of this stuff, then I would think it would be a chance. But like now hearing your perspective is just kind of like, maybe because I broke his heart before. He's very guarded with me specifically because of what I put him through.
Plus long distance plays a big
That's
role.
hard. Long distance is hard.
I will never do another long distance relationship again.
Me neither.
It is off. It is. It's not worth it, people. It is not worth it. I'm sorry to those people out there who are, who enjoy the long distance, that are going through it. Hey, I give you your props, but for me, it's not a thing. I was in one fairly recently ago, and it was the biggest waste of time, I feel like, in my books. I learned a lot from it, and I hope the person who I was in that relationship with learned a lot from it, but it's just not worth it. It's a lot you're missing out on, and a lot of that just comes from being in the same environment as somebody and being in the same area with somebody, because seeing somebody, touching somebody, hugging somebody every day, it adds a level to a relationship that you just can't do when it's long distance. You start missing each other more, and then eventually that talking to each other on the phone or however so you're doing it, it starts to get played out and it starts to get old, and then it just seems like it slowly getting more and more distant. So in my opinion, long distance are not really good for relationships and mental health. They take a toll on your mental health. But to those who are doing it, props. If it's working for you, hey, more power to you. But for me.
So the next question, why can't men be 100% honest when a woman is being 100% honest? I'm not saying all women, but most women that know what they want, they're going to be upfront and honest with you, like 100%. So why aren't men upfront and honest about what they want or just anything?
Because a lot of times most men are not thinking 100 years in the future. Honestly, our brains are like everything, and whoever men in the comment, back me on this if you want. But I feel like most of our brains are mechanically wired. Like we're thinking very logical. We're thinking that if I wake up, get in my car, I can get to my job. We're not thinking if I feel this way about waking up or I feel this way about getting to my job, I'll get there faster. We're mostly thinking about how we're going to get there and what we can do now to get there. We don't really...
Y'all don't think about the steps? Like as in women, we think about the steps. Y'all just think about here, here, here.
We got to start somewhere. We just want to start it. We just want to get to it. And we're not really thinking about it because you'll get caught in the fucking analysis paralysis, constantly thinking about something, and you'll never start it.
Yeah. And
I feel like, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong on this, but I feel like women spend too much time up here and not much time here.
We do.
And that's where, in men's case, we spend a lot of time here and sometimes forget to use this here. But I mean, it could be different from both parties. I can't say that about everybody, but most of the guys I know, we're here. We're not in here because it's more like instinctive than thinking about it than reacting on it. But I mean, it's different. It depends on the situation, depends on where it is. But I don't know. I feel like most men I wouldn't say most men, once again. Some men don't know what they want. And some women don't know what they want.
But they don't know what they want, they should just leave the woman where it is. Or tell them up front, hey, I just want to fuck, that's it. Or tell them up front, hey, I want a relationship, that's it. Or I want marriage, I want kids.
But they
can't do that.
You can't drive a car without a driver's license. So you got to start somewhere. You got to have some knowledge. You got to have some practice.
But some men, they don't want to start from nowhere. They just want to get in there and go. Just like you just said. Y'all don't think uphill. Y'all just like think and go.
Mm-hmm.
So some men is just like, okay, well she fine, so let me try to shoot my shot. They're not thinking logically. They're not thinking about, oh yeah, she gonna be my wife, we gonna have kids. It's a process to that. Just like you said.
Yeah, men don't. We're not.
But it's like, if you just want to fuck, tell me that. If you just want to spend the night, tell me that. If you just want to go out to eat and chill, tell me that. But don't try to, you know
But
what
then
I'm saying?
as soon as they do say it, you this, you that.
Now, some women,
That's true. Y'all be doing that.
some women, like, if you was to come to me, right, and I'm just out downtown Beach Bottom, right, just chilling, eating, and you see me, right, and you was like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, like, I just want to, like, I just want to fuck you, right? And of course I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know you. Like, da-da-da-da, right? Like, it depends on your standards and your boundaries. Some women don't have boundaries, some men don't have boundaries, some don't have anything. They're just like, okay, whatever, like, you wanna have sex, let's go.
Right.
But some women or men that actually have goals or any of this other stuff, like, they gonna, take them steps. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know. It could be very controversial when, like, this question.
In my case, because I really can't speak for all men, but in my case, when I get into a relationship with somebody, I'm not thinking about getting married or how many kids I want to have with this person until the relationship develops.
So then what are you thinking about? Just temporary time? Or like the present day?
Yeah, I'm thinking about the best that I can do day by day. I'm not thinking about 20 years down the line.
For you or for y'all?
I guess you could say for y'all, for us. Like, I'm not thinking 20 years down the line. I'm thinking like, okay, how can I be better this day so that tomorrow's better? It's just that I don't... You have to work for everything to be good. Like, the relationship has to want to work for it to actually work. And if both sides are constantly thinking about the future and not thinking about today and how the relationship could be better today, we're gonna miss out and we're gonna miss steps because we're jumping up the ladder. Fucking women, for Christ's sake, we've been together like a month and you're already thinking about marriage. But that's
true though.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I feel like we miss out on a lot because before you get married, you gotta live with somebody. How are you gonna marry somebody you've never lived with? Because you don't truly know a person until you live with them.
Yeah, that's true. I was the same guy. Like, I feel like that's how my mindset was. Because I'm a dominant female. Like, the military teaches you to be very dominant and stand for yourself. So I'm very dominant. Like, I feel like, I won't say the alpha, but I'm just like, okay, this is what I want. This is what it's going to be. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. But what you just said is like, I feel like every single time that, me and him would talk, I will always bring up the future instead of what was going on right then and there. So I feel like I missed a lot, and it makes sense. Like, I missed a lot of steps leading up to the future. Because his thing that he would always say is like baby steps. Like, take our time. He was like, we can work hard, play later. Like, that. He told me that every single day. Yeah. But to me, it just went over my head, and I'm just like, yeah, like, like, I'm finna PCS. That's the future. Like, kids, marriage, re-enlistment, that's down the future. Like, that's in the future. Like, I still got present day going on. Right. Yeah, so I feel like
it's underway.
It's like, you gotta prepare for stuff. So I understand that aspect of that, because I didn't think of it. Like, it's crazy. I'm glad you're here because I didn't see it coming from his side, and now I understand that it's literally baby steps, especially for my situation with him, because he's traumatized, I guess you would say. But that makes a lot of sense. But some women, they might not see that, or they just don't care. I don't know.
Sometimes y'all judgment gets clouded with emotion. And I know y'all
We're
can't-
very emotional
I know y'all can't
creatures.
help it majority of the time, but it happens a lot. And I'm just, if it's ever in my situation where it happens, I have to remember like, oh, this is something that women should understand.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have to let a man know when y'all want us to either listen or respond. If y'all want somebody to just vent to, y'all have to say that. You have to say that, I just want you to listen.
Yeah.
But if you want us to say something, if you want us to give you input, that's what we're going to do. We're going to give you it in the most logical way. If you're tired of your job and you feel like you're not going anywhere and you're just sick and tired of it, more than likely we're going to probably tell you to find another job. We're not going to tell you oh, it'll be all right, because why would I feed you bullshit when I know that the right answer is to tell you to just leave that job?
Yeah.
But in another case, if you're having that same problem and you're like, I'm sick and tired, I'm so stressed out, and you want to keep that job and you don't really want us to respond, you just want us to listen and comfort you, you have to make that clear. Because if that's the case, when you tell me something like that, I'm like, it's all right, it'll get better. You know, we're gonna comfort you instead of, you know, kind of trying to criticize what you're living and what you're doing. It's a difference. You have to make that clear what you want, because a lot of the times we don't know.
Some men,
yeah,
will think like
Yeah.
what he's saying.
Some of us, I have a good amount of friends that think this exact way, and we will.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a sidekick. If you're thinking something and you want me to help you with that problem, you have to let me know that problem. Because if not, I can't help you with it. But if you don't want me to help and you just want to vent to me, you just want me to listen and comfort you, I can do that. But y'all have to make it clear to these men, because some of these guys don't know. And some of these guys don't know what you want to do. And we may come off like assholes or abrasive sometimes, but really we're just trying to help. It might seem like we're being a smart ass, but realistically we're just trying to help out. So, but you have to make that stuff clear.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But a man needs to do the same thing.
I mean, majority of the time
I mean, y'all are more harsh, like y'all are more direct
yeah.
than a female
Mhm.
sometimes.
I
But
don't know about that.
some men,
Yeah, some.
Some.
I was just saying, I feel like women are a lot more direct in the things that they want
We
than
can-
men are.
but our emotions are tied into us being very blunt.
Mhm.
So we can come off either aggressive or we can
Yeah.
come off like, I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, but men can come off the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like,
I'm like that sometimes. If I just don't want to be bothered, if a female's trying to talk to me and I just don't want to be bothered, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
yeah.
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 It's cool. I'm cool.
You just get that dry response because you just like, today's just not the day.
Yeah, you just don't
I
want to
just
be
don't
bothered.
give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. But that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why Webb here, because he is literally the only man in this barracks that, like, everybody can literally go to and he'll give them, like, logical fucking responses and advice. Like, dead ass, like, no cap. Like, me and my best friend Dukes, like, every time we see Webb, we get hella excited. Like, this shit is funny as hell. Why do men have to lie to kick it and then go back to what they had? Go back to their ex-girl or their girl or somebody they're fucking or... Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about like if a man has a female friend, he has to lie to hang out with her, then so when he does go back to the girl he's with, she doesn't know what he was doing?
Exactly.
Well, I mean...
Like a sneaky link.
Okay.
But in the same sense, that wasn't made
Mhm.
like known at the beginning of whatever happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh yeah, you my side chick, you my sneaky link.
Mhm.
It wasn't like that.
Mhm.
They'll come over, they'll have sex, have fun, whatever the fuck, right? Even the male knowing that they have an ex-girl or somebody else and they're posting on social media all this sad shit, oh I miss my ex,
Mhm.
whatever. You was just with somebody else.
Mhm.
So that don't make sense. How are you gonna string somebody along or play this game and then go back to whatever the fuck you had going on?
That's a hard one because I don't do sneaky links. That shit.
I don't either. It's a waste of time.
Hey, props to I mean, props and no props to the people who have multiple relationships with multiple people, because that shit is tiring. I was like, one woman is enough for me to lose my damn mind. And to you motherfuckers out there talking to 4-5 rosters of them, hey, and I'm talking about both sides, not just men, women as well. Y'all are insane. Like, that is too much. That is so much unnecessary mental fortitude that you have to build to hold up. You have to be so many different people with these people, and it's just not healthy. But to your question, I can't really answer that because I don't do sneaky links. I don't like. I agree with you. Why would you string somebody along if you're just gonna end up going back to somebody? And it fucks women up. This is something that I'm a firm believer in. To the guys out there who are talking to multiple women, you have to stop doing it because you're damaging these women for the good guys that are out there wanting to have relationships with these women. You gotta stop doing it. I mean, while you're young, it makes you feel good, cool, but it's not a good thing. Like, it's just morally wrong. You shouldn't string multiple women on. But if you're the type of person where you're with 2 women and they know about each other and they're fine with it, that's different. But if you're talking to 5 different women and they don't know who each other are, and you're just gonna one day make them a terrible person because you're gonna break their heart, and they're gonna have that same hatred towards men that they have to you, to every other man that tries to talk to them. So you can't keep doing that. It's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for those women.
But why are men controlling women when they don't want anything with them?
It's that phase of you missing them. I feel like that's the hardest stage for people to get over. And if you're in the same environment as somebody you were in a relationship with, it is extremely hard to, that right there is extremely hard to get over because you're constantly seeing this person. You're reminded constantly day after day. So when you're seeing this person, you always you don't want anything with this person, but you
just don't want to let them go.
Yeah, you don't want to let it go. It's just letting go. I remember out of the relationship that I got out probably a few months ago, I had to essentially erase this person from my mind. I had to snip the nerve to
and that takes
forget.
Time.
Fuck no, it took a week.
Really?
Not even. It took
maybe for women it takes time because we're emotionally attached.
It varies from person to person.
Yeah.
But I gave this person too many chances. I gave this person way too many chances to try and give what I was given.
Yeah.
And she just couldn't. So the last straw was her bringing it up again. So I was like, I wasn't being a dick when I did this. I just want to make this clear. But she sent a long paragraph, and all I responded with is, all right, goodbye. Because the paragraph, the paragraph was her explaining the relationship and why she didn't want to keep going. And there's no point in me typing out a paragraph to say, all right, cool, I agree with that, this could have worked, this didn't work, because we're going to break up regardless. It'd be a waste of energy for me to sit there and type it out. So I just sent, all right, goodbye. And then she sent another paragraph, and I was like, all right, cool, goodbye. So do not pour everything you have into these people unless they are going to return it. The majority of the time, relationships aren't even 50-50. They're going to be 40-60, 70-30, 80-20 at times. But if you see that person's willing to pick up where you left off a little bit and pick up the slack, then that's the type of person you want to be with. But if you got somebody who's just going to 80-20 it all the time, it's not worth it. Don't do that to yourself.
Why do men feel like they have to manipulate a female when they're not together? That's delusional as fuck. Delusional as fuck. Delusional. That's crazy. Some of y'all are crazy.
Yeah, some of y'all are. Really.
Women and men are delusional as fuck. Are crazy. Crazy. Have you ever had a female just be crazy fucking over you? That shit is insane. You're driving yourself insane over somebody that we don't care. Honestly, if you was to post about me or post anything, I'm gonna look at it, not even respond. Cause more than likely, if you posting it, you want me to respond to you. You're not gonna get a response from me because the level that I'm at with maturity, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like, I just don't. Like, I used to be in that toxic state where I used to post, you can ask him, I used to post toxic shit. I used to post my feelings every fucking day. I used to be in this dark place. He'd be like, fuck this, fuck these fucking people. Like, I don't give a fuck. And now I'm just like, okay, like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't post none of that shit. Like, I barely post, and if I post, it's fucking TikToks or it's fucking something for my YouTube channel or it's something like we out or something, but it's none of that toxic shit. To me, that shit is toxic as fuck. Like, if you're going stupid crazy over somebody and you're like out crazy in love, I guess you would say, and love make you do crazy things, that shit is that shit's a lie. Because I have never not once have been crazy about somebody. Like, not once. Like, I've loved somebody and he loved, but it's okay. You know what I'm talking about? Not C, G.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was in love with, I won't put his name out there because I fucking love him. G, that's his nickname. G, I was in love with this man. I was in love. But like, you know, he left. He doing his own little thing. You know, I'm proud of him, all this stuff. I'm doing my own little thing. I know he's proud of me and whatever the fuck we got. But it's respect. It's not toxic shit. I wasn't mad when he left. We didn't leave on bad terms. If y'all can do that, that's more healthier than fucking just posting on social media, having the whole world see shit that we don't really care for. Like, y'all just putting it out there just cause. That used to be me, but I don't care no more. I don't have no emotions. I don't really give a fuck. Like, my relationships are private. My friendships are private. My life is private. Unless I allow y'all to see that and allow y'all to see what the fuck I'm going through, then that's when y'all can converse and comment about what I'm allowing y'all to see.
Some people don't even know that they're being manipulated, and they are being manipulated, and it's crazy. And they act like some people don't care about others the way they think they do, and they try and act that they try and portray that they do. Because, like I said, your actions show everything. Your actions speak louder than words. Words sometimes may carry more weight, but your actions speak louder.
Because I don't know if this applies to some men. I'm not gonna say all men, but for women, it's the principle behind what the fuck somebody else did to us. It's about the principle. It's not about what you did. It's about the principle behind what you did. So if a woman feels like the principle is like fucking crazy, like my fucking like my best friend, like Dukes, right? And she does something with one of my friends or something, like one of my other close friends, it's like, it's not about them doing whatever y'all did. It's the principle. If you're supposed to be my girl, why would you do that to me knowing the way that I would feel, if that makes sense? I don't know if men think the same way, but for women, it's mainly the principle. And if we feel like the principle, like, is bullshit, we're gonna fight you, and then after that, we're not gonna fuck with you, because the principle is more important than what the fuck you did. Now, men, I can't speak on y'all behalf, but women, that's how we see it.
Loyalty runs deep. If I'm bound to get into arguments with those closest to me. And honestly, if I'm not getting into arguments with people close to me, then they don't care, because they're just going along with whatever I say. Yeah. And I don't want that. I want there to be controversy in the things that I talk about with my friends, because if we're not talking about it, then we're not elaborating, we're not growing, we're not trying to reach some further point in our topic of discussion. Right. So if I say apples are green, and you're like, yeah. And then I say bananas are yellow, and you're like, yeah. Then I'm like, okay, like this conversation is not going to, it's a dead conversation. Yeah. But if I'm like apples are green, and you're like, fuck that equals MC squared, and I'm like, nah, that's not true, because when I was driving to the movie theater, my car lost all the wheels on the front tire. That's what I want. I want there to be, I'm exaggerating it, but I want there to be a conversation. Yes. I don't want you to, your friends are like you could think about you being the president. You're not always the president. Yeah. Each person is the president of their own friend group, you know? But think about it this way. You are the president. Your friends, your close friends are your cabinet. The people around you that you spark, you go to for, whether it be help or guidance or just growth. These are your cabinet.
Yeah.
And those people should be able to tell you, I don't think you should do that. And although it sparks conversation, I feel like not all of them have to be fist fights, but you are going to get into verbal fights and verbal, debacles with the people around you, and you should be able to do that.
Yeah, it's like my ride or die. Like, that's like my right hand, and I'm her left hand.
See, I have a friend in the Bees. Me and this dude get into heated arguments. People think we hate each other when we argue. But to me and him, that's just us communicating our argument. We will say some foul shit to each other. We would just go at each other's necks about these arguments, these debates all the time. And to everybody around us, they're like, bro, they're finna fight. Then we'll end the conversation and be like, bro, you trying to go get something to eat? And they'll be like, yeah. Like, nothing that's ever happening in the present moment should be carried over to the future.
That's like Hall and North.
That's
like them.
Yes. Very true.
Hall and Kenorkie, shout out to y'all. North left, but they, whether alcohol was involved, not involved, they will fucking argue and fucking like fight, and then a couple minutes later they're cool.
We never let the beef hang.
At all. And like all of us, we'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Like everybody else would be concerned. But then they'll be like, no, like, fuck you, like, I don't give a fuck, right? And then, like, 5 minutes later, like, all right, bro, come on, let's play beer pong. Like, this shit is crazy. But I don't know, like, that shit is crazy. Like, men and women in that aspect is totally different.
Oh, yeah, night and day.
For sure. For sure. Because women, we hold on to shit. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't got time for baggage.
Yeah. And I'm very nonchalant now that nothing can really bother me. Like, if I was with somebody and they sent me a fucking message and was like, hey, we're done, like, I'd be like, okay, cool, bro, like, that's fine. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. It is what it is. Like, you tell me what you tell me, I tell you what I tell you, and that's it. But, like, people, they like to drag situations. They like to, just like you said, they like to keep it going. That's just too much. You're making yourself miserable.
Here's another thing that's different between men and women. I feel like men, if they have a homeboy that is fucking up or doing something in any type of way that may, whether it be wrong or just not right, they'll go to that friend. Collectively as friends, they will go to that friend. A lot of the time what I see with women is that y'all gossip about that friend, and then it gets back to that friend. And
then they want to fight.
Exactly. Because, like I said, if I cannot correct my friends when they fuck up, we are not friends.
That's true.
This is my cabinet. This is my council. We should be able to critique and criticize each other and be like, okay, I fucked up. I need to fix here. And that happens all the time with me and my friends.
Yeah.
But like I said, in some female groups, I'm going to say some because I can't speak for all of them, there are cases where one friend fucks up and the others are gossip about it, or not even the others, like maybe two over here, two over there, the other three don't know, but they're talking about her. It's like you're just spreading it. It's becoming a plague instead of it being like, okay, let's take it to the hospital and let's cut the tumor out. Y'all are just letting the cancer spread. Yeah. And that's where some female friend groups tend to fuck up a lot, but I have seen some where they do get down and be like, hey, bitch, you fucking up.
Yeah.
And they'll correct that female friend that's fucking up.
But majority of the friend groups, I feel like they want to keep as much peace as they can, or hold the liquid as much as they can, but like they'll tell somebody else in the friend group, like you said, and then that person will slip up one day and be like, oh, she didn't tell you this, or blah, 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 and that's a whole nother argument. Yeah. But me, I don't have a friend group. Dukes is, like, my only close, like, the only person that I talk to about every fucking thing. Like, everything. Like, that's it. Like, she knows how I feel about people, about certain people, and I know how she feels about certain people, and that's it. We just have that trust built within each other. But we don't have a friend group because we don't fuck with people. Like, we just fuck with each other, and then, of course, our brothers and stuff, but bitches and females, we just, because it's so much drama. It just doesn't make any sense. And really, me and Dukes, we don't give a fuck. We don't care. So it's like,
I have a friend group. I'm just a very social person.
Yeah.
But I also know how to be like, if I don't want to be around you, I can make it known and tell you like, I'm not trying to be around you. I don't fuck with you. I don't like how you act.
But some guys, they gossip like girls too.
Yeah, some of them do, but I don't got time to gossip. In my free time, what the fuck I look like talking about somebody else?
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
It is a waste of time.
It's a waste of breath.
Just think about that for a minute. You're allowing what somebody else is doing to control or dictate what you are doing at a certain time. You'd rather talk about somebody else than work on yourself. That doesn't bother people. That's why I don't gossip. I don't give a fuck. If I don't fuck with you,
just don't fuck.
That's it. That's it. I don't fuck with you. That's it. I'm not gonna go around telling people why I don't fuck with you, how I don't fuck with you, what the reason for not fucking with you is. I don't care. It doesn't matter because I just don't fuck with you. Simple.
It is what it is. You gonna see from like our actions. If we don't fuck with you, we're gonna get distant. We're not gonna talk to you. We're not gonna be around you. We just gonna pass you like you fucking air. Like that's just what it is. And if we fuck with you, we fuck with you. We're gonna make ourselves known. We're gonna speak to you every time, and we're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna go out. Like,
unless you're getting paid to do it, shut up.
Shut up. Why do men look for answers from others? Well, from other people. Like,
let me speak on that. I got something to say about that. Hey, to all the homies watching this, we don't do that. They do that. Yes.
No.
Women look, okay, when if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I have a problem with that person, I try to solve it with that person. I don't go to my best friend or my this, my that to ask for questions. Women do that so much, and y'all it's literally a dynamic that people talk about, how women allow their friends to control how their relationships go because their friends say, oh, don't do that, don't do this, like, oh, you this, you that, don't let him be this and that. And that bothers the hell out of me. Like,
but some women are not like that. For me, for instance, like I can go to Dukes for any type of advice, right? And she gonna tell me, I don't think you should do this, or oh yeah, I think you should say this, I think you should do this. But guess what? I'ma still do and say whatever the fuck I want to do, and she can tell y'all that for a fact because like I go and ask for advice or like what she think I should do, but most of the time I decide myself because I'm like, nah, like I don't think I should, or you know what? Yeah, you're right. I should. But that's up to me. You know what I'm saying? Like we can go ask for advice, but it's up to us if we actually go through with it. But
you still. At the end of the day, you still went to somebody else for answers.
Yes, but also the guy from earlier in this video, the guy that I was talking about, he would go to his mom specifically because they have a really close relationship. I don't bring my family into my relationships. I'm very private. So he would go to his mom about every situation, or most of the situations, right? But he'd be very biased, right? He would only tell his mom the stuff that I've done. He wouldn't tell her the stuff that he did. Then on top of that, he would talk to one of his best friends, the boy. Right. He would talk to him about anything, and then, you know, his mom and his best friend would just be telling him stuff. And then he'll come back to me and tell me exactly what they said instead of how he felt about what I did or what I said. He'll get answers from them and give me their answers instead of being 100% honest with me about how he feels. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So why are you bringing your mom and your best friend, I guess, conversation to our relationship when they're not in the relationship?
See, personally, I think this is a person-to-person thing. Because me personally, I don't bring other people in.
Right.
If I can't solve it with you, then honestly, it's a both sides thing. Because if both people can't sit there and come to a conclusion or an answer about
or communicate,
simple
communication.
Yes, that is a problem on both sides. You should be able to. I mean, Yes, majority of times people do need inside outlook. I wouldn't even say majority of times, some of the times, because I feel like
Or guidance.
yes, or guidance, because I feel like a lot of people can't come to a decision because most problems aren't that serious.
Yeah.
Unless you're having like big life altering problems, and you need to go outside of your just you and her to find answers. Then yeah, of course, but I feel like majority of our problems can be solved communicationally and just talking these things out. And I personally, for one, if I can't solve it with you, then I don't think I should be with you. I'm easy to cut it off.
But why be biased? Why be biased?
I wouldn't be biased. Okay.
Like the guy. Like in that situation, he was biased because he would only tell his mom or his family or his best friend the stuff that I would do, but wouldn't tell them the stuff that he said, he did, nothing.
Majority of the time, everybody who goes tell somebody something is biased. You're always, I'm pretty sure 90% of the time you're going to be more biased because you're going to tell them to push towards your incentive.
But this is just me. I'm speaking like for me. When I go to my dad, I don't just be like, Dad, like, yeah, like I don't try to make myself look good to my dad. Like if I fucked up or I did something to hurt somebody else's feelings, I tell my dad exactly what I did. And he's gonna tell me straight up. He's like, you fucked up. Why would you say that? You need to go apologize. You need to go do this. Da 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 da. I'm not biased. Neither is my dad biased. Because whatever I tell him, because my family is not involved in like my relationships. I don't allow it because it's too much. But when I go to my dad for a man's perspective or some insight or guidance, he's very understanding from both sides. Even if I tell him myself like both sides, he's not biased. He's not gonna be like, oh yeah, you're my daughter, so I'm gonna just agree with what you said or what you did. No, he's gonna sit there and tell me that wasn't right. That's not okay. But for this guy, I guess he's so used to getting answers from his mom or his family and his best friend that he don't know how to think for himself. And I feel like that's biased because you can't just tell them the bad shit I do and not tell them the bad shit that you do because you're trying to make yourself look good.
Right.
But them looking at me like I'm the bad guy most of the time, and it's like that's fucked up because most of the time women. Well, I'm not gonna say most of the time. Sometimes women, they react off of what men do sometimes or what they say, and vice versa. Men can be the same exact way. So why the fuck be biased?
I don't really have an answer for that one because I'm not. Like I said, I don't bring in other people. I don't bring in other people to my problems like that unless I really need somebody's help. I really have to have a valid reason to bring you into it because it shouldn't matter. If it's my relationship, I should be able to solve it. And if I can't, I'm not ready for it, or I shouldn't do what I'm looking for guidance.
So does that mean that like it's a lack of maturity?
Lack of maturity, lack of respect. It's a lot in there. It's a lot of different ways that could be fucked up.
And Dukes will fucking say the same thing. I tell her all the time, I don't give a fuck what they say. I don't give a fuck. Who the fuck gonna check me? And she like, that's not right.
Yeah, Dukes is a very
she's very
She's gonna tell you the fucking truth.
Yeah, 100% of the time.
Yeah, she gonna tell you the damn truth.
Yeah. If a man is trying to like build something with me, have something with me, why are you bringing outside sources into a relationship that is between me and you? It should only be between me and you. If we're arguing, communicate with me if you feel a way or you want to work something out because your mom isn't going to fix it. Your best friend isn't going to fix it. My dad isn't going to fix it. It's between us two if you really want it to work. So just don't let it ruin the relationship because of because of what they think. That's not what you think. So why are you letting their thoughts intervene with what you think, and then you're putting that off on me, and then that fucks up the relationship? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Very true.
Because like what they tell him, he can take that shit, tell me that, and it fuck up everything. because I'm gonna feel away, because we're emotional creatures. Women are very emotional. So we take every single thing into consideration, and we literally sit down and think about it, and our emotions, of course, get attached because it means a lot to us. Certain words, certain things that y'all say. We're probably gonna have more sessions. Dukes, she wants to be a part of this video, but she had to work, so we're probably gonna film one with her because I know she have a lot of stuff, a lot of questions that she wants to get out as well. Because Webb just really help us understand all aspects, and then we help him understand aspects. But yeah, thank you for joining my video. I'm gonna tag you in at the bottom. I'm gonna put all his information at the bottom so y'all can go follow and comment and subscribe to his YouTube channel and stuff like that. And we will be back with another video soon, real soon. But y'all just stay tuned because these videos, they finna get crazy. I got 4 months.
4 months.
So they finna get real, it like deep. They finna get really deep. Yeah.
Well, I thank her for having me. Thank you everybody for having me on the channel.
Y'all look at these shades Will had me buy. These shades are hard. Bye.